Yo, how you come? How you coming? It's your overseer real with the fro back on. It's a digging gang on me. Back on playing this. I am very interested to see what's going on with the rest of this. I ain't not gonna lie. It's not even no pretentious shit. I'm trying to see if I can dig my way into the mole man's kingdom. I'm giving all the Johnny Test reference with this one. And also want to see what I could, if I got any other things I can get from this. I ain't got no different stuff right now, but we're gonna keep it as it is. I remember from the last episode that dynamite shit is useless. Unless they upgrade that shit, that dynamite shit is useless. But that's alright in it for right now. Ooh, shit. Hold up. Okay. Okay. Alright. I start digging. I know last one was a yap session about all type of stuff. Mainly stuff about me and my life, but shoot. I ain't gonna say I'm gonna stop the yapping. I don't like how it sounds. It sounds desolate. But today's gonna be less of a yap session, I hope. I do have some topics I want to talk about. Mainly about Black History Month. Some new stuff I discovered. Some new things I just personally got interested in thinking about and looking into. And if I like randomly get the spare of thought to talk about the other little stuff that's been going on in America, I'll definitely tie that into it. But right now, I really want to talk about, really personally, Black History Month. I want to talk about my little declarations that I want to do for Black History Month, just as a personal person, with my own little, like, oh shit, I'm getting bank off this. Jesus, this is better than a job. 200, and that was nothing but like 30 minutes. Shit, this is a real profession. But that's what I was saying. Like, I wanted to talk a little bit more. Damn, my mouse just died. My mouse just died.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Awkward. I went down the rabbit hole, which I don't usually do on Black History Month, but I don't know. Just personally now, I just went down the rabbit hole of thinking like what really encompasses Black history, what really goes deep into it, from all our history, from slavery to segregation and up to now. Yeah, using TikTok as a main source for right now. Well, it's not the main source, but just as the reference of where I found most of my stuff. I went down the rabbit hole of it, and you know, I heard a lot of shit that kind of pissed me off, but also at the same time kind of made me remorseful, because firstly I've been getting more into my Bible and my scripture, and when you do that and you honestly take in what it's telling you, you can't be as all vengeful and angry and upset, because that isn't what you're called for a lot of times. It's not what you're called for in any sense. In the world, you gotta in some way give it away to God, because the Bible states hundreds of times that it's not it's your fight to try to make better, but it's not your fight to hold in within yourself to feel that pain and that anger, because ultimately evil is going to be defeated. Ultimately evil never succeeds, because yeah, maybe in the flesh for a few hundred years evil thrived and lived and made itself homed here, but ultimately in the end evil never wins, because God is the most high, all good, and when it faces against evil, evil can't compare to it, and evil does nothing but faces the judgment that God gives it. Alright, check. I just fixed my little issue. Had to charge my mouse. Had to charge my mouse. But like I was saying, I was getting to that deep dive in Black history. Ooh, but I tell you, I needed to talk to a guy after saying all that shit. But that's neither here nor there. We gonna continue digging and figuring out what we finna do with this little mine shaft. But more on the Black history. Yeah, Black history is really revving up this year. I feel as if we're close to what people want for Black history. That real deal equality. It's gonna take some time now. It's definitely gonna take some time. It's gonna take some effort. And I was watching this podcast from Dr. Umar, and the way he speaks on how we on that we just finished the first quarter of the 20th century, and he said we're gonna have to start getting in our bag about how we conduct ourselves with these white folks. It's a distinction between what they're trying to do and how they speak on racism, to where they want to make it seem like it doesn't exist when no matter how much any Black person tried to ignore it themselves, they know it exists, and they know it themselves. The white folks that participate the most in the racism know it themselves to be uniformly true and uniformly consistent with how their actions is and how they conduct with treating Black America. I know I rambled along with words that even I couldn't even follow along to, but so I'm not the best for it, but just a YouTuber trying to talk about the situation, and not to make insults any white or Black people, but yes, there's a tricky slope in the situation that is very much being propagated and being trying to be avoided when uniformly it's happening in our faces. And as Black folk, we have to step above it. We have to step above it for sure. We definitely have to step above it. We definitely have to remain in a stage where we can flourish, but also not let them take the things that make us away. Give me that. Actually, I'm gonna start going down. I think I need that silver more than anything. Yep, so I can see where I'm going. And I encourage people, if they want a better understanding of what I was trying to say, definitely go ahead and watch that podcast with Dr. Umar. He goes into it real nicely on how, if you actually honestly listen to how he portrays it, it can come off way more understanding for people on how we're in that precipice, that stage in history where we have to start taking accountability for stuff, and also we have to start not allowing ourselves to fall into these simple traps that they've been having for us for centuries. We have to start no longer giving them that power over us and over our communities. I think especially off of the history of America, if we're on that quarter and America wants to celebrate it as like America being like it's one of its birthdays, one of the big important birthdays, I definitely believe Black America needs to celebrate it as what it truly is, a history on Black America being the foundation of most of America. I encourage no hate, but I definitely encourage the wording I want to like enhance for this being the year of Black folks acknowledging shit and acknowledging things and getting into that. There's no reason for us to have so much hate with each other. And I kind of encourage the thought of having this year being, at least within Black America, white America doesn't have to acknowledge it at all, but why every game I play gotta have these sounds? It's like every game you play gotta have the sound of like something stepping right next to you. Like Move back. I don't want to have all that noise in my ear. And it's a wall right here, so it's not even nothing there. But I want to dub this year Black History Year. I don't even want to say Black History Month because I still want to celebrate Black History Month. Because, yeah, it's a month that is within our culture needs to be celebrated, of course. But I also want to celebrate this as Black History Year because this is the first quarter being ended. And going into the second quarter, we have to acknowledge all the things that have been laid upon the black people's back that still hasn't been acknowledged by white folks. And won't be acknowledged by white folks. Because it's not something they want to enhance on, because they systematically have to start shutting it down if they want to keep their power, if they want to keep their control over things. Oh shit, I got me a drill.
Yeah,
Charge this bitch up.
baby.
We finna go down there and take over. But I want to dub this year Black History Year for the contributions that most black people have even given to America's history to where it is now. Oh, this bitch automatic. Can it go down this? Nope, okay. Oh yeah, this motherfucker turning point right here. I'm drilling through this bitch. So, from the start of every one of my videos for the rest of this year, at least until July, I'm finna be announcing my celebration of Black History Year. I ain't gotta have nobody else celebrate it with me, but I definitely just wanna give light to that situation of black people needing to be proud of our contribution at the very least on how on the backs of many black people this society has been formed and managed the way it is. Because without the sacrifice of many of those black folks, that if you go into a lot of the stuff on TikTok, at least for me, it's just in our faces on how, if we just acknowledge what all they've done, it's just terrible, just heartbreaking. And it's hard to even try to sit down and like keep a steady mind with that, at least for me personally, when I think about it and honestly get to the nitty-gritty of it. It's hard to sit there and keep a straight face with that, because it's definitely to a fault on how this is just so much pain and just suffering that goes within our history that we can't just take away. But end of the day, I do love this country, not for its fault. I love this country for its damn, this shit loud. I love this country for its founding principles and the home that it is of many of the black people that were situated to that. I don't want to abandon this place just because it was in the face a white man's game to build upon and make it their own. It may be their game, but we don't have to see it as they property now, because the game could be changed for our favor. The game has always been, in a way, representation of our favor, because if it wasn't for us, America wouldn't been half the powerhouse it is, honestly. But yeah, on a more I don't know, more lighter topic. I don't know. I wish I did have more of a following though, because then I could start asking people what they want me to talk about and stuff like that. Because there's so much to talk about in just the world in general, or how things has been going in the world with different representations, different people coming into light, the Epstein files, all of that stuff. It is also like a situation we have to acknowledge that he did all this to eventually just give up his life doing it. And a lot of people do suggest that he is a spy for the Israeli country. And if that's the case, he definitely did complete his mission and just himself out of there. Which, even if that situation is true, it's still kind of a point to acknowledge, because that shows something. The devil does it. The devil gets his work done regardless of how it's done. The devil gets his work done. And we may think of him as this bad guy, which he is, but the devil's work got done, and he has to deal with those consequences. And I just plead with a lot of people to start getting more into their world within this year. I plead with a lot of black folks to start getting more into their word this year. I plead with those that have struggles with the Bible to just, honestly try to account those struggles and try to really face them in a way. So we can get past the like, I don't like this part or this part, because if we being honest and real grown up, it's not about what you like. It's not that. It's not about what you like, because if it's honestly about what you like, then it's not really something that's passed down for God. Because God isn't here for what you like. He's here to cast down judgment if he's all loving and all true. You can really object to what he's saying, but if you use your own faculties, that your own faculties lead you in a way to that situation, to this pain, to this hurt. I just encourage that we start acknowledge that God is needed for this stuff. Jesus is needed for this stuff. And for right now, that's gonna be my last topic on these horrific events on a more lighter note than I was trying to do from when I said that. But on a more lighter note, I got on here because I wanted to just discuss my stuff on my own thoughts. I believe we all have a voice here. This is a way of exercising my voice, because I was, from the start of this, even from my first video within playing this game, I said I wanted to get more into being talkative and allowing myself to know how to speak to people. And this is I'm doing that, and I don't want to be afraid of saying certain things, because certain people may like it, even within this. Yep. I thought of that. I was just gonna say. I thought, if I touch that shit, I'm finna burn up. Yeah, I'm getting that bag. Shay is losing and gaining bread at the speed of light. I'm trying to get bro, for real. I just spent 500 to get 500. And then to lose some of that bitch, but I'm still at 450. This man in here is getting rich. Shit. If this was the way, niggas, I'd be on this right here. I'd be digging. Shit, that hurt. I'm gonna have to give me a med kick in a minute. And I'm slight frightened in this shit, but I don't want to be too frightened, because I don't even know if anything spooky gonna happen here. If anything, I may just have to put a drill in someone's head, and this bitch on me. I'm in here feeling like I'm in Minecraft, the way I'm mining this shit. Gotta dig at an angle, try to find yourself right there where you need to be.
3, 2, 1.
Not a blast.
Yeah, with games like this, it's hard to just have a conversation. Cause it's like you're trying to focus on the game, trying to focus on getting your shit. Go and heal up too, get another lamp. You're trying to focus on all these things, but it gets hard. Cause you know, you gotta keep talking about random things. Well, now some of them not random. I wanted to talk about the first half of things, even though I wasn't as coherent. And I think that's because this is my first time really trying to deep dive into things that personally is a little out of my pay grade. Within, like, you know, dealing with well, it's not really politics. I don't like dealing with politics because politics to me. Okay, I'm gonna dig into my political thought on stuff because honestly, I don't really have too much of a political thought on stuff like this because we're just so unrepresented in like politics in a way. And now that's just getting better. We have a lot more representation in politics nowadays than we used to, and that's amazing. I support that 100%. But especially when it comes to presidents and stuff like that, and representation of those natures, we're just underrepresented. And you know, when the situation with voting came up, I don't really like to vote just off the habit of it not really being anything that actually wants to support us in a way. Like, I know some people side with the Democrat or the Republican Party, but to me, each one of those parties are nothing but, once again, either agenda-focused people that have an underlying agenda under all the things that they may tell you that they will do, but just the overarching agenda that doesn't concern black people, and if it does, it concerns them in a way to keep them in a place of low status, of only being attached to stuff when necessary for votes or for like solidarity, just to have them seem as something to the people so they remain docile, you know. And I don't know, I'm just not cool with that yet. I surely will want to get into politics because that's like me holding the power over like how my country runs stuff, and I definitely want to have that say in it. But to the point now where I don't feel like even if we did speak on it, it doesn't have a say on it for real, because there's nobody to actually represent us. Even if we try to vote on the best person is still, using the reference of Rick and Morty, on Evil Morty, the worst turd is still a pizza, because regardless, it's not gonna do no good for it. It's not gonna be anything sweet or savory. It's still a turd in the end of the day. The worst turd is still gonna be digested like the best turd. And to me, I don't want to digest that. I don't even want to get too deep into that, because unless it serves to benefit our people to really get out of the situations that, to be honest, if we think about it, anything that people can say if how we systemically disadvantaged, we're systemically disadvantaged off of the basis of how we were even treated to even have the mentality of this disassociation. Our mentality hasn't healed from those years of slaves, you know? Our mentality hasn't recovered from those years as segregated people. Our mentality hasn't recovered from that stuff. And for us now to be, oh shit, I'm glad that I thought it stopped. I'm just saying, I'm glad that it stopped itself so I don't overdo it. And now I'm stuck. Got a blast. But our mentality hasn't healed from that stuff. And for For those that just want to say, what have we not done to, what kind of spaces are there to where we're not disadvantaged? It's like a slap in the face, because all places we are disadvantaged because we haven't even had the time to heal mentally as a people. And I'm not saying we need that time, like as in just give us that time, because Barack Obama's presidency was that time. You know, comfortable people got in those situations, even though that comfortability was also overshadowed by white folks enforcing that racism more inherently, like forcefully in our faces. But we weren't allowed to really associate with that. We, as a people ourselves, still had that slave mentality of blaming blaming the black folk, blaming the black men for those situations, just for the brownie points in our for our white oppressors. And even not even brownie folks, it was just engraved in our minds to think in that kind of manner. When if we actually look into it, we ain't really get on those white cops that are constantly killing and martyring our people. We're not getting on them. And for a fact, we haven't been able to get on them people for a long, long time. Even with all the advancements we have as a people, we have not been getting on them. Yeah, it's sad to think like that. It started to think in a way like we're not cognitively ready for that type of situation yet. Ugh, it sounds like something flopping his ass around. Object detected. Let me refill up. I don't like how I said object detected. What's the object? What's detected? See, I got that scary mindset right now that I ain't trying to go. I ain't going. What y'all got going on? But yeah, I come in here just to yap a little bit, just to talk, and also to get my face out there and familiar, because you know, we all deserve to have a voice. And within the years, I've seen a lot of black folks giving their voice off on the internet. And it's great that we do that. It's great that we have that bond. And we do need to gather more bonds within black community. I believe that we will strengthen these bonds sooner or later. Alright, let's see what this object is. Cause there's something weird about this bitch. Like if something peep his eye out at me, I'm out of this bitch. Yeah, I'm a careful dude. I gotta have an escape route. I'm not going. Whatever was discovered gotta be thought out by me real quick. I gotta see it before I go down there and it touch me. Hey, what is jerking off in the distance here? Something is flopping. It's penile or something. The way it's just.
What did you say, nigga?
I'm like, what is that noise? Like the masturbating ghost. I'm not going for it. Is that the new object? That damn silver thing? I know people like, you got a jetpack. You know that, right? Oh, it's a damn hole. Yep. Platinum. Alright. Once again, because I'm finna end it off with this right here. So I'm going up, blasting off back into the surface. I just want to once again say happy Black History Year, happy Black History Month. Yeah. Just like I'm doing in this game, I hope everybody's balling out and getting into their paper, getting into their money, getting into they whole goal, you know? Hope this year is amazing for black folk, man. Hope this year elevates us farther than we ever thought possible and never bring us back down. So Overseer Real, and I'm off. All right, back it up. Whoa, hold up, whoa. God damn it. Bro, finna make me lose my job and shit. Hey, I'm finna go take a 20-minute. Need to get high after this. Hey, man, hey, fuck you.